What's up, you guys? Tyler from ASAP Fitness. In this video today, I'm going to go over the step-by-step process of doing a Turkish Get Up. Okay, it has a lot of steps. It has about 15 per rep. Each one is as important as the one before or after. Okay, so I'm going to have Coach Adrian demo the steps as I go through them. Okay, so I'm going to have him start by laying on the ground. Step one, he's going to roll to a press. The goal of a Turkish Get Up is keeping the kettlebell over your shoulder throughout the whole movement. Okay, he's going to have his opposite hand pointed out to a 45-degree angle. His foot matching that same angle. The same foot that's in the hand with the kettlebell, that foot's going to be close to your butt. Okay. From there, you're going to try to press and roll to your elbow. Okay. As you roll to your elbow, you want to keep your midline tight. Okay. You don't want to sag at all. You want to think about having a proud chest. Get your chest up as high as possible. Okay. Once you establish a good position, then you're going to move to your hand. Okay. You're going to press up. And then from there, you want to look up at the kettlebell throughout the full movement of the Turkish Get Up. Okay, that's going to help keep it balanced, keep it over your shoulder. From here, it's very important to bridge your hips up as high as you can. Okay, so he's going to lift up. Now he's going to slide his shin across the ground until his knee gets to his hand. Okay, from here, he's going to shift his weight to his knee. He's going to square hips forward. Okay, rotating that foot behind him. Now he's in the overhead lunge position at the bottom. He's going to lunge on up. Good. So that's half the rep. Now we have to go back down. We're going to start by reverse lunging with the opposite leg as far back as possible. Now we're going to get our hands close to our knee. You want to keep your shin across the ground as you slide it out. Okay? Try to get it back in front of you. Get your butt to the ground. Get to your elbow. Back. And then all the way back down. That'll be one rep. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're going to go over some of the common faults that we see a lot of during the Turkish Get Up. Have Adrian demo them and how to fix them. Okay, so the first one, pretty common. As you posture up, get into your hand. If your midline is not tight, you're gonna have your chest sunken in, side of your body onto the ground. It's not a good position to kind of get that foot back or your knee back towards your hand. Okay, so rather than being in that sunken position, you want to think about sticking your chest out, stomach tight, get into that good position. So when you get to your hand, you have plenty of space to slide your knee back into your hand. Alright guys, so the next common fault we see a lot during a Turkish Get Up is not being able to bridge up your hips high enough. That's going to give you enough clearance so your knee can come back towards your hand. If you can't get your hips up that high, that means your knee's not going to get back far enough, which is going to make the movement a lot harder. Okay, so I'm going to have Adrian demo. He's going to get to that position, bridge on up. But notice his hips are kind of low. As he tries to slide his knee back into this position, he's not able to get all the way back towards his hand. Okay, so I'm having him come back out. Hips up as high as possible. That's going to clear some space so you can slide that knee back, getting towards your hand for the next step. Okay. All right, guys. So common mistake number 3: as you get your knee back towards your hand, you really want to focus on keeping your shin flat on the ground as you slide that knee back. We see a lot of times where people try to bring the foot back first, and that's just going to lift your knee off the ground, which is going to make it almost impossible to get back towards your hand. Okay. So I'm going to have Adrian demo. So he's going to bring his foot back first. Notice as he tries to get back, it has nowhere to go. Kind of stop himself. It makes it a lot harder. So make sure as you get that knee back, keep your shin flat on the ground. Windshield wiper that knee all the way back towards your hand. So it's easier to switch that hand, the weight from your hand to your knee, getting into that next step. The next common fault that we see a lot of is forgetting that the Turkish Get Up is a pressing movement. Okay, throughout the full rep, we should have our arms extended, pressing up on the kettlebell as hard as we can. Okay, so we see a lot of times where people starting to lunge up into the top of the rep and forgetting about keeping our arms pressed out at the top, which is going to make the movement a lot harder to get into that higher weight. Okay, so for example, I'm going to have Adrian demo. He's going to try to bring his hips up, but his elbow's going to be soft, his shoulder's going to be soft as he's trying to slide his knees back. That kettlebell is a lot harder to hold on to, okay, which is going to be even harder when we get up to heavier weights, okay? So make sure as you come up from your bridge or from the lunge, you're pressing up throughout the full movement, keeping your eye on the kettlebell, keeping your arm extended. All right, so the last common fault we see is on the descent of the rep. You got to make sure on the lunge down, you take a big enough lunge step that you can have enough clearance for your shin to come out from the lunge to the front. Okay, so for example, I have Adrian demo. He's going to start at the top of the rep. He's going to do a shallow lunge. getting his hand down. From here, he's gonna have no room to slide his foot back out. Okay, so that's what we don't want, having a shallow lunge. Okay, so make sure as you go down into that next rep, big lunge back, hand towards the knees, so you have enough room to slide that shin out back in front of you. Okay, so I have Adrian demo the full rep for you guys at full speed. Notice how he still is going to hit each step perfectly. That helps keep that rep as efficient as possible. Okay, so test these steps out. Hopefully they help your Turkish Get Up be a little bit more efficient. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.